What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today when I talk to you about Hologram. I want to do my weekly update on what's been influencing it and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Hologram did go up 2.21% on Thursday. Over the last 5 days, up 7.17%, marking the second consecutive week of it being green. So kind of bouncing off the lows of roughly the 420, 430 range. So definitely good stuff for that. Unfortunately, a lot of that has to do with more macro kind of situations playing out. A lot of FOMO in the market, and even the most speculative stocks are moving higher. So I think Hologram is piggybacking off of that, rather its own news, because they haven't really put out any news whatsoever. As far as SEC filings, they did put one out on June the 5th, which was a prospectus, and in my opinion, tail end the second, possibly even the third week of July, that is when we should be seeing another prospectus. But because of this recent momentum, you have a lot of individuals calling for Hologram to be a squeeze play. So I'll give you a quick summary of what Ortex is showing. So 25.21% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 962,000 shares. Short score is 80.24, and then as well, just the DTC is 0.3. So all in all, a lot of people are going to be seeing this information and calling it as a squeeze play. A lot of influencers, and regrettably, a lot of influencers are kind of dumb as a doornail, and their primary thought is to get views. And one way to do that is to kind of hypnotize retail and just say, hey, you know what, this is a squeeze play, you need to get in now. So it's rather unfortunate, the circumstances. You don't have a lot of people really telling the truth, or again, some of them are, like I said, just dumb as a doornail, so they just don't know any better or anything about this company. But I've even called out a lot of influencers or people on Reddit, for instance, calling Hologram a scam and a fraud, but at the same time then still pumping it. So it's kind of a very weird scenario. Lately, I haven't really seen all that much in posts on Reddit pumping it up or whatever else, but there was one thing I wanted to share with you, and that was this. TGS Trades, and they have roughly 5,500 followers on Twitter. And the reason why I want to bring them up is because I've actually argued with them in the past about other stocks, how they just mindlessly pump. And if we kind of look over here on their actual page, all they've been doing, like relentlessly, is posting about Hologram. So again, this does kind of fit the criteria of a paid influencer that knows absolutely nothing about the stock. And even looking at the most recent post that they did, this really does reconfirm just a lot of these people are either given this information just to pump or whatever else, but they put down quarterly financials are due any day. As soon as I saw that, I instantly knew that this individual had no knowledge about Hologram whatsoever, because they submit biannual earnings, not quarterly earnings. So that is red flag number one. Point number two, they're bringing up how it's a good value because they have roughly 200 million in Bitcoin, which, mind you, they've never actually disclosed that they bought it. They just said that they had the intention of doing it, because as I brought up, they don't actually have that cash realistically. And ultimately, this individual is kind of portraying it as a value play. So current market cap is 26 million, should be at least 10 times more based on cash alone. So this is why these are the types of influencers that get retail to come in, because they kind of portray this pump type of thing, this value play, and then retail will look at the chart and say, hey, you know what, that looks sexy, I want one of these spikes to occur, I'm going to be rich. And this is how new blood does get into stocks such as Hologram. So again, I don't know if they are or not, or maybe they're just dumb as a doornail, like I said, but there is a lot of paid influencers, possibly like TGS Trades, because as I've shared with you, they only have roughly about 5, maybe 8 million in cash and cash equivalents, despite their PRs actually stating higher, right? A lot of their notes, as I've shared with you time and time again, a lot of these prospectuses and these short-term notes are 365-day notes. The principal does need to be paid back in cash. The interest payments are paid through the conversion of common stock. So all of these are and will have to be repaid, which is going to eat away from their cash that they have. So if you subtract all of this, they have about 5 million left over. So again, this is how I know in advance when they will ultimately be doing more prospectuses. So looking back to June 20th, 2024, they did a 28 million, subtract admin fees as 25. They did a prospectus then, as well as July the 10th. This is why I did know that one was coming. They did one on July, whatever it was, or June the 4th, 5th, or whatever it was, 2025. That was to pay for this one. July the 10th, there's another one, August the 23rd, October the 30th, January the 6th. And so unfortunately, a lot of people do invest without actually knowing what the terms and conditions of these notes are. At the same time, it'd be very interesting to see if this TGS, for what they're portraying it as, a massive squeeze, if they actually do have any position in this stock. As I've shared and openly mentioned, I did have a put against Hologram because I kind of knew exactly how this was all going to play out. I did close it prematurely, made, I think it was a 425% off of that. Right now I have absolutely no stake, long or short, on Hologram. I think there's better plays out there, but at the end of the day, I do feel, and as I've openly said, even if you get in now, you will lose roughly 80 to 90% of your equity in 6 months. No different than what I mentioned 6 months ago. And if we kind of pop over to the chart, just to give you a kind of representation of that, 6 months ago, you would be down 97.2%. But again, you're going to have a lot of influencers trying to get retail to buy this, cause a little bit of a pump, and then again, those individuals are going to be trapped. But these videos are not destined to get you to sell, to get you to buy. These are just more awareness types of videos, so you do whatever the hell you want. I could really care less in reality. If you want to listen to individuals such as this TGS Trades or many others on, for instance, Reddit, that are pumping this and portraying it as a squeeze play, then do it. It makes no difference to me. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Have you been buying? Have you noticed a surge of other influencers kind of talking about this? I'm only bringing up TGS Trades because I've argued with them in the past. And so I kind of know that they're already BS. I did see a couple other influencers talking about Hologram as well. So who knows? You might see a continued push higher because of all this kind of hype and awareness being brought towards Hologram. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Happy 4th of July to all the Americans out there. Drink a lot, have a lot of fireworks and everything else that you enjoy. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you are looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point and bangers, not like TGS Trades. So link to that is in the description below. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.